Okay, we're recording.
Man, my spot looks white.
Okay. Oh wait, we're on
Man, you
OBS.
got a big ass head. Ready? Okay. You heard me? Oh, you heard what I said?
Shut the fuck up. What's up, everybody? It's PinkSauce, and we are back. We're gonna be. Okay, never mind. Let's start over. You can't fucking laugh at my.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
What'd you press record?
Really weird.
Alright, we doing this anyways.
Okay. What's up, everybody? It's PinkSauce, and I'm gonna be reacting with my homie Ethan today, and we're gonna be reacting to the 13 haunting ghost stories. Let's hope we don't get too scared. You ready?
Alright.
All right. Let's get into it. Okay, never mind. We're gonna have to fucking start over because I forgot I fucking muted it.
Damn. So this whole clip. Just threw up all this, threw it up, cut it down, went in there. Oh, but you spin that right here and you spin it back like that, and you turn it to that.
True stories based on.
No, fuck that. That was an awful intro. We're gonna do this again.
Can I watch it at least?
Yeah, we'll watch them after. Okay, you ready?
After? How do you know when you're starting to record? You just clicked on it. You just closed it and then opened it up. How do you know you're gonna record?
I just know. What's up, everybody? It's PinkSauce, and we're gonna. What?
The fuck? You didn't even press no buttons.
Yes, it's still recording.
What's up, everybody? It's PinkSauce.
What's up, everybody? It's PinkSauce, and I'm here with my homie Ethan today. We're gonna be reacting to these 13 haunted ghost stories, and let's hope we don't get too scared. You ready?
On guard.
I'm ready. Let's get into it.
On guard.
These are true stories based on submissions from the BuzzFeed Unsolved Network audience.
Shoot.
These are their encounters.
You think I'm scared? I don't get scared.
One night when I was in 7th grade, I had two friends sleeping over, and we were in my basement. My
Man,
brother,
is
who
this
was
supposed to be
around
red to
7,
us?
bought himself a new Furby.
There ain't no one. It's supposed to be red to
And
us.
it sat untouched in the basement closet.
What?
As you may know,
It's
Furbies
it's-
sometimes begin to talk.
Is it
when
working
they're
to yours?
moved, yet they
Yeah.
only speak
It's not
gibberish.
working to mine. I don't hear nothing.
This night,
Damn it. Okay, hold on.
Man, what in the hell?
Um,
What's up, everybody? It's PinkSauce up in this bitch.
let me see your headset. Okay, put it back on. What's up, everybody? It is PinkSauce, and today I'm gonna be reacting with my homie Ethan. Today we're gonna be reacting to these 13 haunting ghost stories. Let's hope we don't get too scared. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready
Yeah, I'll
too.
be ready.
Let's
be
get
ready.
into the video. Alright.
These things don't scare me.
these
though.
are true stories based on submissions from the
Who
BuzzFeed
knows?
Unsolved Network audience. These are their encounters. One night when I was
I'm
in
already
7th
scared.
I had two friends sleeping over, and we were in my
Say
basement.
nothing.
My brother, who was around 7 at the time, had bought himself a new Furby and got bored of it after a few weeks. Then it sat untouched in the basement closet. As you may know, Furbies sometimes begin to talk when they are moved, yet they only speak gibberish, not English. This night, it was around 4 a.m., and we had all the lights out, and it was silent. We were laying down to go to bed, and out of nowhere, we hear this Furby's voice say, "Come play with me," and then it laughed. At the time, I didn't know it didn't speak English, so we wrote it off and went to bed. To my horror, in the morning when I checked on it, not only does it not speak English, it also had no batteries.
Oh,
What the fuck?
hell no.
I was a freshman in college in the Philippines. It was late at night, and my friends and I were on our way home after watching a play at one of the campus theaters.
Watching it play.
As we were nearing the College of Education building, I looked up to the sky and saw a woman jump from the topmost floor. I told my friend, and we ran over to the front lawn of the...
Don't even pay attention no more. And it froze on us.
It froze. Okay, so I'll just edit this part out. Like I was
This is what happens.
What do you mean this what happened?
It loads, and you just like, edit this out. Man, we should just upload this whole video when it's a whole reel.
The whole thing?
It could take 30 minutes, bro. 45-minute video just because it's just loading up.
Whatever you need, it'd probably be good though.
It would be good.
I wonder if this thing's ever gonna load, bro.
I wonder if it is
to
too.
help the woman.
Oh, there we
But when
go.
we got there, she was gone.
Oh,
The guard came rushing over to
again.
us because I
Yeah, I told you. Right again. Here we go.
Let's just
I
go.
swear, any Furby came talking to me though.
got insulted.
It'd be on site. It'd be
On
on
site.
site with this thing.
Oh shoot.
Look at that thing.
Don't
on
cut
me.
yourself.
Got that thing on me.
Woman jumped from the topmost floor. I told my friends, and we ran over to the front lawn of the building to help the woman. But when we got there, she was gone. The guard came rushing over to us because I was so loud about it. My friends didn't see her because I was the only one who felt the urge to look up. The guard helped calm me down from nearest area, then told me that I must have seen the ghost of a woman who had jumped to her death from that building years ago, because it was the anniversary of her death.
The foot. Oh my god.
In 2015, I went on a trip to DC for the 4th of July with my family. This was our second trip to DC, so we decided to take the last day of our trip, the 4th of July, to go visit Mount Vernon, George Washington's estate in Virginia. It was the
That's
middle
where
of the
he
day,
lived.
scorching hot, and there was absolutely no air conditioning in the house, aside from a few fans placed sparingly. I'm a huge
God dang it!
Yeah, we got like more smoke, bro. You see you eyeballing me over there. Alright? That's where George Washington
There was
lived.
absolutely no air conditioning
Oh,
in the
shit.
house, aside from a few fans placed sparingly. I'm a huge history buff, so I was very excited about tour.
Nah, that's cap.
Bro.
Just to go see the side.
This is pissing me off, bro.
Piss me off too, you know why? Because George Washington did live in Mount Vernon.
That is true.
Oh,
That's
so now
that's
you
his
agree.
house.
It is his house.
How, Nick? Damn. Oh my god, bro. That
I
seems
introduced to my toes, bro. I haven't clipped them niggas in so long.
Oh,
I said the word, God. Let's cut that part out. Every other
Shoot,
part.
the editing on this is gonna
I
actually
know.
be hard. Hey, bro, you wanna go drive around?
Sure, bro. You want to, drive?
No.
Okay, then.
I got some money.
How much money?
I don't know. I just gonna vlog.
What you gonna vlog at like, what time is it?
I don't know. We can go to someone's house, bro, and just go do some random stuff.
Whose house? Whose house we going to?
I don't know. Trace kind of has a big yard. Oh shit.
Big yard we do run around? We should go fishing, bro.
Jump on a horse. Alright, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I've been ready.
Home and knew a lot about George Washington and his state previously.
Hell yeah.
So I knew that he passed away in his bedroom in 1799. But that's definitely not what I was thinking about when our tour guide led our group upstairs to see said bedroom.
Bro, like the echo on the voice, bro, it's like making it kind of creepy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your uncle for a second. I was
No,
like, I don't hear
not
nobody.
my echo, just the echo on the voice.
You
Like
sound so
it's
serious, bro. That's what makes it freaky. Not even that it is freaky. It just sounds so serious when you're talking about seeing dead people. That's what makes it weird.
They did. Yeah, this is true.
Really delicate artifacts in it, so we weren't allowed to go inside. And there were little plastic barriers preventing us from doing so. But you could stick your head into the room and look around. For some reason, I was the only one in the group who decided to take a look. When I stuck my head into the room, I was immediately struck by how absolutely freezing cold it was in there. And I don't mean that there was a light breeze. It was as if I had stuck the upper half of my body into a walk-in freezer. I was confused by this because there didn't seem to be any air conditioning in the room. So I looked around to try to see if there was any fan or AC unit that I just wasn't noticing. But I didn't see one. I decided to take my head out of the room and ask our tour guide why I was so cold. But then I realized that I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. Every part of my body that was in the room was completely stuck in place. I struggled to pull myself out, but couldn't. I started to panic and tried to open my mouth to call.
He said he was paralyzed from the waist up. That means his legs wasn't paralyzed.
No wonder he was the only one to peek his head in.
I know, for
No one
real.
else wanted to do that.
For real. But still, you get what I'm saying? He was paralyzed from the waist up, so his legs still worked.
But he was so froze in the moment, he wasn't his waist up. You know, you
I
moved
would have
your
just
body
been like
this.
this,
So
running.
what, you would have walked away while you're like this, still looking in the door?
Yeah, with like no.
Nah, bro, it ain't right. This ain't right.
But when I opened my mouth, no sound came out. All of a sudden, from the other side of the room, where there was a little piece of furniture, a mirror, and a water basin, probably where Washington washed his face and shaved in the morning, I felt what I can describe as
He
nothing
definitely
other
brushed
than
his
terrifying
teeth.
stare.
Yeah, wooden teeth.
Almost like the sensation of someone staring at you while you sleep. I didn't see a figure or anything, but I felt this huge and intimidating presence walk towards me and stare me down. It was horrifying, and I physically could not tell you how much time passed in that moment, because it really felt like it could have been an hour. but I guess it was only a few seconds. After a while, I finally broke free from my paralysis and almost fell backwards onto my butt. My mom asked me what was wrong, and I told her that I wanted to leave. She didn't believe me when I told her the story later, but it still scares me to this day.
Damn, George Martin looked like 6'7". Big,
That was
strong
weird.
presence.
When I was
next to
around
him.
8 or 9 years old, my mom told me to go to bed early on a summer night. So I threw a fit and began screaming at my mom, "I hate you!" My mom always told me never to go to bed angry, because the devil can possess you and steal you.
The
After
fuck?
slamming my bedroom door shut, I turned off
No.
the lights and lay down. It was near
Guess
midnight,
I'm
and I was
lucky.
still angry.
Yeah, you
Suddenly,
are like.
I heard tapping
I'm
behind me.
getting mad
I
and
had
shit.
chills run up my arms. Then I heard a voice call to me. It sounded like my brother's voice, but he was calling me a nickname my mom used for me. I figured it was my brother, so I started yelling at him to go away. The voice taunted me with the nickname until my mom ran to the room and turned on the lights. "What are you yelling at?" I sat up and noticed she was the only person in my room. I told her my brother came in.
Bro, that's
and
creepy,
started
bro.
calling
This
me.
is giving me
She looked
chills.
pale. "Your brother is sound asleep in my room." It was exactly 12 a.m. on the clock when my mom walked into my room, and it was freezing even though my window was closed and the AC was turned off. There was something in my room that night. And to this day, nobody in my family understands what happened. All I know is that I will never go to bed angry, ever again.
That's creepy.
Gosh.
Last year, I went to the coast of Rhode Island for my cousin's wedding. We were just a few miles from the Lizzie Borden house. We get to the wedding venue, and it's this old, big, creepy-looking mansion. Immediately, my spooky senses were tingling. I made a few observations to see if this would be a place that was haunted, but within a few minutes, I was distracted by the
Spidey
festivities,
senses.
and all thoughts of ghosts escaped my mind. The wedding was out behind the mansion, where we could see the water, so everyone had moved from inside to the back lawn. All afternoon, my cousin and my aunts had me grab things for them. Eventually, one of them asked me to get a hair clip she had left in the dressing room area. The dressing room area was in the upstairs part of the mansion. Only people in the wedding party were allowed access up there. As I ascended the red velvet spiral staircase, the spooky feeling started coming back to me. Suddenly, I felt like every portrait on the walls were watching my every move. As I went into the dressing room, I decided I would just grab the hair clip and run. I walked to the large table and found the clip. As I was getting ready to run out of the room, I saw my reflection in the mirror on the other side of the room. My hair had gotten all messed up from running around, so I stopped to fix it. As I was standing facing the mirror with my back to the open door of the
Here we
room,
go.
I saw what looked like the form of a person
Bro, that's
Yep.
creepy.
frozen. I stared at the white figure of a person in the mirror for a few seconds. Quickly regaining my composure, I turned around.
I'm about to go to sleep with nightmares.
I swear that I had just seen an old white gentleman.
Old
I couldn't
white
make out the
gentleman.
clothes he was wearing, but I definitely knew that no one in the wedding party looked like him, since we are an Asian family. So if it was a random guest,
Since we are an
I
Asian
wouldn't have known where I was.
I love Asians.
Me too.
While I was standing,
But that was
looking
just
around
funny.
in wild fear, the door to the bathroom began shaking and banging, like someone was locked in there and they were trying to get out. Thinking it was just a bridesmaid that was stuck in the bathroom. Most doors were creaky and jammed frequently. I went and easily opened the door. No one was inside the small bathroom. Scared out of my wits, I made a run for it. In my fancy dress and 6-inch heels, I ran back down the red velvet spiral stairs and didn't look back until
It's
it
a
was
dude, right?
later that night. The bride's hairstyle.
Why is he in 6-inch heels?
Do what?
He's in 6-inch heels. It's a dude.
Oh, I think this person's just reading the story some female told him.
That makes sense.
I
Someone
was
told
deeply
him.
involved in amateur
Yeah.
photography.
Like, bro,
A
that's-
friend at the time told me her home was in fact haunted, and I jumped at the chance to tackle the challenge.
Is it creepy? Do you think it's creepy?
Nah, that 6-inch heels threw me off. That got me. I was tripping out about that with the story. I was confused for a second.
Oh, shoot.
It's a different wedding, isn't it?
It's a different one. Oh, Lord. That's pretty scary, man.
Yeah, 'cause you white.
We first conducted
Fair
an
enough.
EVP session where my friend's grandparents died. After asking questions like, "Do you want us to leave?" and "What are you going to do if we don't leave?" Several people in the group immediately began complaining of headaches and stomach pain. I was met with responses like yes and
That just sounds like a stomach
we
bug.
began hearing
Yeah.
noises from the kitchen where we moved to conduct another session, and the room became drastically hot for a January in New York City. And I raised my hands in prayer and began to close my eyes. As I prayed, a member of the group told me my hands were being pulled apart by nothing. As I opened my eyes, I became disoriented and my vision blurred, and I heard several people in the group saying something was coming up the stairs from the basement. I got up and noticed a horned shadow creeping up the steps. I yelled at it, "Do your worst, I'm not afraid." I woke up on the floor a full 5 minutes later. I managed to get out of the house, just to be told I smelled like ashes and fire. I got home to notice what appeared to be a handprint on my ankle, and it was hot to the touch and extremely painful. I had gone to church and explained what happened, and the priest offered to anoint the mark with holy water, and when it came into contact with my skin, it felt like I was being set on fire. For several weeks after, myself and one member of the group began to have dreams of being threatened and taunted by a man in a black suit.
Horn dude in a black suit, man.
My grandfather built a house.
This happened to me, bro. I don't even know what I do.
She died falling down.
Start working at the church.
Later, he met my grandmother and they had my mother. Years later, my grandfather passed away, leaving my grandmother alone in the house. A friend of hers had stopped by to see if she would sell the house. She gave them a tour, and afterwards, her friend handed her his card. The minute her hand touched the card, a loud crash came from upstairs. For reference, the upstairs is laid out like a square hallway that loops around a pillar, and on the back of that pillar is a bookcase. The shelves in that bookcase had collapsed inward, like someone had slammed down on them. Books were found in every room upstairs, behind beds, in closets, and even in rooms on the other side of the pillar. My grandma never really believed in ghosts, but this event freaked her out.
Freaked me out too. Saying don't sell the house.
So this has happened to me more than once in the house where my family used to live. From what I would...
Yeah, that shit crazy.
It's weird. It's weird for sure. How was it? We're on 8. It's 13. And there's still like 8 minutes left.
How long are each story?
Well, think about it.
13 minus 8. That's 5.
I mean, the first few.
We got 5 more stories in 8 minutes.
I don't even know that.
Some stories finna be long as fuck.
told, there was a ghost in the house that resembled me. So much to the point where my own mother thought it was me. The first incident was back in 2011-2012. I was in my bedroom, and I heard my name being called, so when I responded from upstairs, I heard my mom say, "Never mind," very nervously. Naturally, I go down the stairs and I asked my mom why she was calling me. She then said, "I just saw you standing in the kitchen." I looked at her and said, "I've been upstairs the whole night." And she replied with, "I saw you go into the kitchen and open the cupboard." The next incident was with a family friend named Jamie. The layout of our house was kind of odd. There was a hallway that connected to the kitchen, but it had 2 openings, so it created this weird open wall situation. Anyway, there was a mirror hanging on the wall, and you could see the reflection of the TV in the mirror. So one day, I went to an amusement park, and Jamie looked at the mirror, then circled around the hallway situation, and asked the other person in the house if I was still there. When she replied, "No, she left," Jamie said she saw me sitting on the couch from the reflection of the TV. The TV was not on.
So if this is a girl's story, why didn't they get a female to tell the girl's story and then this guy to do the...
Yeah, 'cause sometimes it'd be confusing.
Yeah, because you'd be hearing she
Jamie,
did this,
she,
talking about...
Mark, James.
Yeah, it's just weird because the voices
Now
just doesn't fit.
I don't know, I was gonna say something, but I don't know what to say yet.
Yeah.
The last incident was with my cousin. He had spent the night, and we both fell asleep on the couches downstairs in the living room. He had woken up and went upstairs to brush his teeth in the bathroom. It had one of those giant mirrors that covered the entire wall from the counter up. And with the bathroom door open, you could see into my room and my brother's room. He said he was brushing his teeth, and when he looked up at the mirror, he saw me standing from his bedroom watching him brush his teeth and said, "Oh, I didn't know you were awake, Cass." He didn't get a response. Once again, I was asleep downstairs in the living room. The next thing I knew, my cousin was shaking me, telling me to wake up and that he had just saw me standing in my bedroom. We lived there for about 9 years. My room was always the coldest room in the house, especially the closet in my room. It was freezing in there, and we were told it was a portal. I always heard hangers moving around, and I would feel someone or something
Narnia!
in the basement, especially
Yeah,
if
there's
you were
some
alone.
weird,
You could hear
twisted,
footsteps
fucked up
constantly. I
Narnia.
never felt too scared.
This ain't the
But
good
the idea of a
Narnia.
ghost looking at me creeped me out. I live in a house that was built in the early 1900s. When it was built, it was intended to be used by a doctor performing checkups and work in his own home.
That's not racist.
One room at the front of the house freaks out
Wait,
nearly
what?
every visitor
That's
who
not
comes
racist.
by.
Oh, you said plantation.
Always describe
Yeah.
a strange feeling when walking
Yeah.
past the room. Some men
messed
run
up.
past to avoid it. The house consists of
Hey,
a long
racist.
hallway where you have to walk past every room before reaching the place. Something I've been
It's just a plantation, though.
and I scared some of my friends who used to visit often. Back in 2015, my then girlfriend explained that she was seeing snakes in one corner of the room and a snarling dog in the other. This was all during the middle of the night. I had experienced what I thought were hallucinations of a lost child and a strange man that I assumed was one of my mother's friends. When I asked who it was, she said there had been no one matching the description who had entered the house. During the night, when leaving my room for a drink or to go to the toilet, I never felt alone. I felt like something was there, but not acting out. Now, as an adult, I walk into that front room and still feel cold and a sensation that I can only describe as emptiness. To this day, I wonder what kind of patients the original owner had, and if any of them died on the property.
Most definitely.
That's weird.
I was lying on my bed watching videos on the internet when I thought I heard a knock at my door. I took out my headphones and listened for another knock. I didn't hear anything, so I put my headphones back in and continued watching the video. Shortly after, my video started buffering at exactly 6 minutes and 66 seconds, and I felt someone tug at my foot, which was hanging
So you
out.
never fucked up.
I quickly looked
That's weird.
around my room to see if my sister was playing a trick on me. I was alone. I ran out of my room and saw a tall, dark figure standing at the end of the hallway. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, it was gone.
See, some days be short and not good. Not scary.
Eyes, and when I opened them again, it was gone.
Oh no, bro. There were some though that were pretty creepy.
These last three you better pick up.
I think the first one was a weird one. Alright.
You have a Furby, don't you?
What?
Yeah, you still play with Furbies, right?
I don't know what a Furby is. That was weird.
You just play with Furbies.
I didn't play with no Furby. What's a Furby?
The one under your bed, bro.
I ain't even got anything to go under the bed.
Yeah, you're right.
When I was about 9 years old, I had a friend that introduced me to the urban legend of Bloody Mary. We used to play around and dare each other to summon her in the bathroom one at a time. One night, I was feeling daring, so I went.
Did you ever do the Bloody Mary thing?
No, I would never do that. I would never do it in a million years. And
I've done it.
Will never do it.
Nothing happened.
Go do it again.
God, dude, not after watching this.
No,
I'm gonna like
Let's
die.
watch this one and see if you think about it, bro.
The
Yeah.
bathroom and did it. Except I ran out before I could see anything.
Yeah, that's what you did. You ran out before you could see anything.
I woke up around 4 a.m. and heard footsteps coming up the stairs. At first, I thought it was probably my parents. Except I began realizing that the footsteps never seemed to make it to the top. Then I thought, oh, the tooth fairy. Remember, I was 9. I
Oh,
left
the tooth fairy.
and it was gone. The steps started getting louder, faster, and closer, and sounded as if someone had already gotten to the top of the staircase. But I went to check. Nobody was there, and both my parents were asleep. I got so scared that I pulled the covers over my head, and the steps suddenly came to a halt. I slowly uncovered my face, let out a sigh of relief, and went to turn my body towards the wall, when I felt a hand crawl down my forearm and bang it against the wall with full force. I had zero control over my arm, which is what freaked me out. When I woke up, there was a dent in the wall.
Yeah, go try Bloody Mary now.
About 4 years
That was
ago,
weird.
I was home alone
But it
with
wasn't
my
that
3-year-old
scary.
daughter. My husband was working late, so I knew I was in charge of bedtime. I didn't like being alone at home because I always had this off feeling like someone was watching us, and my mom was always superstitious. My daughter and I went through our routine, and when it was time to put on her pajamas, she told me that she had a friend who would stay with her when we put her to bed. So I asked her who it was, and she looked at me and said, "Well, can't you see him, Mommy? He's standing right behind you in my closet. He's very big. How can you miss him?" We moved less than a year later.
We moved.
Didn't even stay to see what happened.
Yeah.
We had just moved to the suburbs from the south side of Chicago.
The
so naturally, my
birds.
family and I were slightly uneasy when
White
totally
boy
together.
talking.
My younger brother
Birds.
was a nervous wreck. He refused to go into the basement or even the stairs leading down to them. No big deal. He was around 5 or 6 at the time, so we chalked it up to the typical kids scared of basement rhetoric. But things did get weird pretty quick. Apparently, I started sleepwalking, something I never did before we moved, and I would stand outside my parents' door in the middle of the night. I would do this a few times a week, even standing right next to my parents' bed, and just stare.
That's
My
weird.
mom would always tell me to go back to bed, and according to her, I even tried to leave the house. I was around 10 or 11. One night, we were eating dinner, and my little brother just loses it, sobbing hysterically.
That one was getting good.
My mom would always tell me to go back to bed, and according to her, I even tried to leave the house. I was around 10 or 11. One night, we were eating dinner, and my little brother just loses it, sobbing hysterically and pointing at the door that, you guessed it, opens up to the staircase that leads to the basement. My parents are super concerned, asking him what's wrong, but all he can manage to string together is, "It's staring at me. It's staring at me." A little time passes, and nothing really happens.
Bro, this one's creepy.
Things seem to have really calmed down.
That's
It was the
what
middle
they
of
used to do,
winter,
bro.
which is when my birthday is.
You get
I
mad
was
last
hanging out in
area.
my room, and I heard someone singing happy birthday. Weird, because it wasn't my birthday just yet. So I went into the
Just yet?
expecting to see my parents.
Just yet.
I thought that maybe I was just hearing things. I went back into my room, and I heard it again. I started looking around, and I finally found the source of the noise. It was coming from the vents. The vents that all lead to the basement. The last straw for my parents was probably when we couldn't find my younger brother. We looked all over the house. No sign of him. We were all freaking out. Eventually, we would faintly hear someone crying through the vents. He was in the basement.
Aw.
My mom wouldn't let me go into the basement with her. so this is what she told me happened. She said that when she ran down there, she saw a dark shadow, and that it was shaped like a man. Now, my mom is your regular religious immigrant parent. She didn't allow us to bring anything regarding death or the supernatural into the house, because according to her, it would be inviting it into our home. So of course, this freaked her out. She said that she repeatedly told whatever it was to get out and leave her family alone. Apparently, it disappeared after a few moments, and she found my brother. After that, she hung up a few crosses all over the house, and a Virgin de Guadalupe statue. Nothing weird happened since, but we still ended up moving.
Good.
Moral of the story.
I'd get out too.
Don't live in the suburbs. Don't be a white suburban.
Alright. That was the
Oh
video.
my god, my ass is sweating.
That was the video. And hope y'all liked it. It was alright. What did you think of the video?
I've seen scarier. It's just scary.
True.
I know you haven't because you live in the burbs. We live in the same town.
Like I meant like the
Oh
area.
my god.
Oh my lord. Alright, well that's the
But we'll
video.
see you next time.
Like, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Just you need some gas, so